So what is CPR indicator? So this has been a recent sensation in stock market, basically when it comes to indicator. And even now the CPR indicator has been introduced by Zerodha. So this indicator has made such an impact among the retail traders to approach the market in a price action way. So basically what is CPR is, we all know about pivot points. So generally there will be a one pivot line. Above pivot there will be resistances, and below pivot there will be support levels. So when we use pivot points, there is only one concept which we all know. If the price is trading above the pivot point, we have to look only for long opportunities. And if the price is trading below the pivot point, we have to look only for the short opportunities. Now, this is the yes, sir.
Sorry, I will have to interrupt you in the middle always, because that's my habit. Is if I don't get clarity of something, I keep on asking queries.
Sure.
Assume that I don't know pivot.
Okay.
If you can just explain me what is this pivot?
Okay, pivot is a median line which we use to understand the direction of the market. See, pivot is basically a formula. Let me show you the formula of CPR initially, so that it will be easy for me to show you the pivot point. So this is called as pivot. This is the formula. Based on previous high, previous low, as well as previous close, we are deciding a level for tomorrow's market. When I decide a level using this formula, let's say for example, I'm getting a 2 plus 2 plus 2 divided by 3, and I'm getting an answer 2. So if tomorrow the market is trading above 2 rupees, then I will look for long opportunities. And if the price is trading below 2 rupee, I have to look for short opportunities. So basically pivot is a median line. It shows the trend, whether the market is in a buying side or on a selling side.
Okay,
so
got it.
pivot means basically a median line.
Okay, got it.
This single pivot line. So traditionally there is only one pivot line, and then we will be having resistance as well as support.
Okay.
Now this single pivot line is broken into three pieces, which was done by Frank Ochoa. He is the founder of this particular CPR indicator. What he is doing is, he is giving another dimension to this pivot point, and he is dividing that single pivot line into three lines. Previously in a pivot point we have only single line, but now we are having three lines. This is called as top central pivot, and this is called as bottom central pivot. So this is what the work done by Frank Ochoa, and the resistance levels and the support levels will be as default as it is. So let me show the formula for the TC and BC. So this is basically the median line, and this is the bottom line. So this is called as bottom pivot. We can call it as bottom pivot, and this is called as top pivot. So these three lines are together called as central pivot range. Central pivot range. So this range is called as CPR. This range is called as CPR indicator. So now what is the use of these three lines? Previously we are using single line as a pivot point. Now what is the use of these three lines? The purpose of using these three lines is, we can derive a variety of market sentiments. For example, if these three lines are closer to each other, if this is how a CPR looks like when we apply it in our charts. So this is called a CPR indicator. So if these three lines are closer to each other, it is called as narrow CPR. And if these three lines are having some distance between each of these lines, then it is called as wide CPR. So what is the inference we get from this two types is, whenever there is a narrow CPR, we can expect that particular day to be a trending day. And whenever there is a wide CPR, we can expect that particular day to be a sideways market or a range bound market or less trending market. So this is the main inference which we get from these three lines. Now
can you go back to a CPR slide once again? I'm just trying to comprehend what you just said. Yeah, the formula. Yeah, the formula.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, pivot is open high. It's a high low close divided by 3. Okay, understood. BC is equal to high plus low divided by 2. Okay, so you are considering the high and low for the day divided by 2. So both the figures could be same also if low and close is the same, or high
Yes,
and close is the same, correct?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if low and close is the same, that means the stock has probably has had lesser volatility. Can I assume that?
Yes, yes,
That's why.
exactly. On the previous day. Yes.
Good. And TC, sorry, what do you mean by TC? What's the full form of TC?
Top central pivot, bottom central pivot. It is
Top
like
central pivot.
TCP and BCP. Yeah.
Got it. So TC is the pivot line minus BC, which is the bottom pivot, plus pivot line. Ah, got here. Got it, got it, got it.
Actually,
I
this
got it.
formula is taken from Pivot Boss book only.
Okay, I got it. I got it. So see, what I'm trying to do is the conclusion which you gave, the narrow and the wide, I'm trying to reconfirm it with the formula.
With
Now
the
I
formula.
understand. After
Okay.
looking at the formula, the conclusion makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. We can proceed.
Okay. So whenever there is a narrow CPR, we can expect that particular day to be a trending day. And whenever there is a wide CPR, we can expect that particular day to be a sideways or range bound market. So this is an example, a simple example for a narrow CPR. So whenever there is a narrow CPR, we can expect, so here there is a narrow CPR, and if the price stays above the CPR, we have to look only for long opportunities. So
Okay.
here in this case, the candles are staying above CPR and they are opening around R1 levels. So
Okay.
when the market opens around R1 levels, we can clearly understand that this particular day is going to be a trending day, and we have to look only for long opportunities. Whenever the price dips down, we have to look for long opportunities only, buy on dips, like that.
How did we calculate the R1 levels?
Or we have the formula in the formula slide. So R1 and R1, R2 and S1, S2, these are standard values which we use in pivot points.
Okay, got it, got it. So that we can get in any software. If we plot
Yeah,
pivot,
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
get R1,
Yes,
R2.
yes. Yes, yes, yes. Actually, we have CPR indicator in TradingView, which I have coded already.
Oh, fantastic. So you will show us that indicator how later in TradingView,
Yes,
can you
yes,
show us?
yes,
Fantastic.
yes, yes,
That will be
definitely.
really nice. Yeah.
So
Yes,
this
sir.
is
Please.
one example where the market is having a narrow CPR and it was trending. Now, sometimes in some cases, what happens, there will be a narrow CPR. So this is day one. Let us assume as day one.
Yeah.
Here we
Yeah.
are having a narrow CPR, but the market is not trending. It is inside a range between R1 as well as S1. So
Yeah.
whenever the market is not trending on a narrow CPR day, we can expect the next day to be a trending day on day 2.
Why?
Because we are getting a less volatility on a narrow CPR day. Generally, whenever there is a narrow CPR, the volatility should be high. And when there is a less volatility on a narrow CPR day, we can expect the market to be volatile on the next day.
So this narrow CPR is basically reflection of less volatility previous day, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So if on the
So
next day volatility narrow CPR, can narrow CPR continue for many days?
no, the possibilities are less. Generally, narrow CPR may continue for a couple of days or a maximum for 3 days only.
Oh. But even if the stock stays in narrow range for 3 days, narrow CPR can expand?
Yes, yes, it can expand. It all depends on the open as well as the close price. If the open price and the close price are closer to each other, then there will be a
Yeah.
narrow CPR.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that if open and close remains very close for 3 days, then narrow CPR can remain narrow CPR, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
But generally, it will not happen frequently.
Okay. Okay. Fair point. Yeah.
So whenever the narrow CPR, the market is not trending, we can expect a trending day on the next day. On the next
Okay.
day, in this case, on day 2, the market is staying above the CPR. We can see the market has opened below the CPR, but within few minutes, it managed to close above. it managed to stay above the CPR. So we have to look for long opportunities only.
Is this what's the duration of this candle which you are showing? 5 minutes or 15
This
minutes?
is 5 minutes. 5 minutes, yeah. Predominantly, we will be using for 5 minutes in case of intraday trading.
So this is a good strategy for intraday trading. People use 5-minute chart to ride the trend.
Yes.
Investments in the securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.